You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
So earlier today, things really took a chaotic turn around Newcastle and Gateshead after the Tyne bridge was suddenly shut down in both directions. The closure happened in the early hours of the morning, and it was all due to what authorities described as a police incident. Because it's such a crucial route linking the two cities, the impact was felt almost immediately. Rush hour traffic was thrown completely off balance, and long queues began building before most people had even started their commute. Drivers heading over the bridge found themselves stuck as traffic backed up for miles. Congestion stretched deep into Gateshead, through the approaches, and right into Newcastle. Even after the bridge was eventually reopened before 8 a.m., huge tailbacks continued, and people were still inching forward long after the main blockage had cleared. Emergency services had been called out just before 5 a.m., with police, paramedics, and even a hazardous area response team dispatched to the scene. According to the Northeast Ambulance Service, one person was taken to hospital for further treatment. The exact details of the incident weren't immediately released, but the heavy emergency presence made it clear that the situation was being handled with urgency and caution. While the focus was on the Tyne Bridge, it wasn't the only part of the region facing major disruption. There were separate incidents causing problems along the A1, that is M, southbound, where the motorway became partially blocked, and on the A19, where a multi-vehicle collision created delays of up to 40 minutes. Recovery crews were working to clear those vehicles, but traffic had already piled up from junction to junction. Adding to the confusion, there were also reports earlier in the morning that the Tyne tunnels had been closed, though those alerts were later taken down. Whether they were ever actually shut wasn't entirely clear, but it definitely added to the uncertainty for commuters already dealing with gridlock. At one point, online traffic updates suggested the Tyne Bridge might remain closed until the early afternoon. Fortunately, that didn't end up being the case, but by the time it reopened, the morning commute had already been heavily impacted. Even after traffic began flowing again, it moved slowly, with drivers battling significant delays across the wider area. All in all, it was one of those mornings where one incident set off a chain reaction across the whole network. With so many major routes affected at once, the Northeast really felt the pressure. Emergency services continued managing the aftermath, and drivers were left hoping the rest of the day would run a bit more smoothly. Stay subscribed for more videos.